The wind whispered secrets through the ancient stones of Eldoria, secrets only a few could hear. We'd traveled for weeks, following the faint hum of energy that Aaron felt deep in his bones. His echo sense had led us across soft golden fields and up the winding paths of the Crystal Mountains. To this place, the Heartstone Chamber. It was exactly as Lyra had described from the ancient texts. A vast cavern where the air itself seemed to vibrate with forgotten power. I'm Cohen, by the way. My job is to make sure these two brilliant, and sometimes reckless, adventurers don't get into too much trouble. Aaron, with his quiet focus and silver-grey eyes, stood perfectly still, one hand resting on the cool surface of a moss-covered pillar. He's always been the compass of our group, feeling the past as if it were a gentle stream flowing around us. Lyra, on the other hand, was practically buzzing with excitement. Her pale blonde hair shimmered in the dim light filtering from cracks in the ceiling. She unhooked one of the glowing writing crystals from her belt, her light teal eyes scanning every inch of the chamber. A memory trace allows her to understand symbols that would look like mere scratches to anyone else. "It's here," she breathed, her voice filled with awe. The texts were right. The Heartstone is real. She pointed towards the center of the cavern. There it was. A colossal crystal, easily 3 times my height, pulsed with a soft, internal light. It was a deep amethyst color, and its facets caught the faint light, scattering it like 1,000 tiny stars. It was beautiful, but it also felt sleeping. The energy Aaron had been tracking was all concentrated right here, a silent, powerful hum that made the hairs on my arms stand up. "What do the symbols say, Lyra?" Aaron asked, his voice low and calm as always. He hadn't moved, but his gaze was fixed on the crystal. Lyra moved closer, her fingers tracing the air above a series of intricate carvings at the crystal's base. "They speak of a union, a convergence of 3 energies to awaken the core. Echo, memory, and stone." She'll look back at us, her expression a mix of wonder and nervousness. "It's talking about us, our abilities." I gripped the hilt of my blade, a habit I have when things get serious. My own ability, the stone pulse, had always been for defense, for protecting my friends. I could create small shields of force, like ripples in stone. I never imagined it could be part of an ancient prophecy. "So, what do we do?" I asked, my voice steady. "Do we just touch it?" Lyra nodded slowly. "Thoritons suggest a simultaneous connection. Aaron, you must feel its history. I must read its light. And Corin, you must provide the shield, the foundation. It says the Guardian's pulse will stabilize the awakening." We looked at each other. This was it. The culmination of our journey. There was no hesitation. We had come this far together, and we would see it through together. We formed a triangle around the Heartstone's base. Aaron placed his hand gently on the crystal's surface, his eyes closing as he focused on the ancient energies within. Lyra held her glowing crystal aloft, her lips moving silently as she read the light patterns forming within the great stone, too. I took a deep breath, planted my feet firmly, and placed my palm against the cool facet in front of me. I focused, calling on my power. A wave of force, a stone pulse, emanated from my hand, not as a shield, but as a steady, grounding vibration. The moment my energy touched the crystal, a chain reaction began. The soft hum we'd been hearing erupted into a resonant chime that echoed through the entire cavern. The amethyst light inside the Heartstone intensified, swirling like a captured storm. The symbols at the base, which Lyra had been reading, began to glow with a brilliant silver light. The ground beneath us trembled, not violently, but with a deep, rhythmic beat, like a giant heart waking from a long slumber. The light from the Heartstone grew so bright we had to shield our eyes. And then, a section of the far wall, a solid rock face we hadn't paid any attention to, began to grind and shift. Huge stone blocks receded into the darkness, revealing a perfectly carved archway where there was once only rock. A new passage. A secret chamber, hidden for millennia, was now open. A soft golden light spilled out from the opening, carrying the scent of ancient dust and something else. Something clean and pure, like the air after a thunderstorm. The Heartstones, pulsing slowly returned to a calm, steady rhythm. Its light now a constant, warm glow. It was awake. We stood there, breathless, staring into the newly revealed chamber. The purpose of our quest had been to find the Heartstone, but it seemed the stone itself was only the key. The real secret, the next step in our adventure, lay just beyond that archway. With a shared look of determination, we turned towards the light. Our journey in Eldoria was far from over. In fact, it felt like it had just begun. Thanks for watching our story unfold. Make sure to follow along to see what we discover next.